Welcome, my friends of the interwebs, or should I say my political friends of the interwebs. What you are looking at is Frank R. Lautenberg's little Senate.gov website. For those of you who don't know, he is one of the handful of senators who are trying to perpetrate this treasonous backdoor bullshit into the internet, whatever the hell, safety, well, I don't know what the hell kind of, what bill it is. But they're basically trying to sneak in some gun banning, some high-capacity mag banning. Now, by the way, high-capacity is a very subjective thing, because one person's high-capacity is another person's just getting started. You know, so anyway, their legislation basically mirrors the assault weapons ban under the Clinton administration. That's right. Clinton administration. Say what you want, he signed that shit into law. So, anyway, and it basically says you can't have a magazine over 10 rounds. Anything over 10 rounds is forbidden, is not to be had, is criminal. So, anyway, what I did was I went to each and every one of their Facebooks last night. I've compiled a list. I've done the homework for you. I've made your life easier. In the info section, you will find each and every senator that signed on to this treasonous bullshit. You'll find their Facebook links. And in fact, I want to say, let's see here, Senator Jack Reed, freaking idiot, he, I actually found his YouTube channel also. And I think I'm pretty sure I put a link to that. Yeah, Jack Reed really pisses me off, because here's a guy who is a retired major in the Army, and went to West Point, and apparently has no clue about the Second Amendment. No clue whatsoever. Now, having said that, listen, one of the greatest generals to ever conduct battlefield operations in North America was a guy named Benedict Arnold. And had he not turned traitor, he would have been in the history books right there along with George Washington as one of the greatest Americans ever. So, you know what, Senator Jack Reed, you're a treasonous snake. I don't care if you are a graduate of West Point, and I do not care if you were a military man, a retired, in fact, it makes me sick that I'm paying. You should be imprisoned. I shouldn't be paying your pension as a major. You should be imprisoned. Absolutely imprisoned. All right, anyway, enough about Senator Jack Reed, idiot. All right, so anyway, what I did was I went to each and every one of their websites, or excuse me, their Facebook pages, and I left a comment. You know, I mean, I'm not going to call them Monday, because that doesn't really matter. No, there's no sense in jamming their phone lines up with people that aren't their constituents, because they could care less about anybody that's not voting for them anyway, or can't vote for them anyway. I do plan on calling my senators first thing tomorrow, which will be Monday. So, but I did feel a lot better about going to their Facebook pages and letting them know what I thought about them. You know, and each and every one of them, I basically called them a treasonous snake. Now, I would encourage everybody to follow the links in the info section and do the same thing. Try not to use any foul language. I know it's difficult, you know, but let them know that what they're doing is treasonous. This whole backdoor legislation nonsense, it's criminal. It is absolutely criminal. Now, I know a lot of people think, well, you know, Obama's not going to sign that anyway. You never know. You never know. I mean, I will never forget during the whole debate over the crime bill during the Clinton administration. There was the debate, and then the crime bill was the assault weapons ban and the magazine bans and all that crap. I called my congresswoman at that time, Marcy Kaptur, who's still there. She's a fossil. Most of these idiots get in and never leave. But anyway, Marcy Kaptur, her people, her surrogates, who speak for her, told me that she was not for banning guns, and but the crime bill had so many good things in it. Of course, it was a liberal wet dream. 100,000 new cops. You know, forget the fact that eventually those cities would have to pay for them themselves, but that's a whole other issue. But the crime bill had so many really great things in it that she had no choice for the safety of Americans but to sign this legislation, or to sign on or to vote for this legislation. Okay, all right, bitch. So here's the thing. Fast forward to when the Republicans took over Congress. Okay, say what you want about Republicans, but you're more often than not better off with the Republicans, believe it or not. Okay, so the Republicans take over, and so the first thing they want to do is repeal the assault weapons ban. Awesome. You know, you didn't see Democrats do that. No, it was Republicans that did that. Well, here's the thing. It really screwed Marcy Kaptur because her whole song and dance was, well, I didn't want to ban guns. It's just that the country needed that crime bill. Oh, my God, I had to do it for the children. You know, the children, the safety of the children. So anyway, so I called her office and I said, hey, you know, good news. She, you know, you told me she wasn't for gun bans and was, you know, but blah, blah, blah. But now she can undo her unfortunate wrong. You know, I mean, this is awesome. No, she was not about to vote to repeal the assault weapons ban. So, well, wait a minute. You know, I told her surrogate, you just told me not all that long ago in the grand scheme of things that she was not for banning guns. And now you're telling me that she will not vote to repeal the assault weapons ban? Well, then how does that work? How do you rectify, I mean, how do you justify that statement? So anyway, but that's the way they are. They're all a bunch of lying snakes. So here's my point. I don't know what's, you know, this whole cyber, they'll make this cyber security thing out to be this so important legislation. And I could see them trying to do it. Well, you know, I didn't want to have to do that magazine capacity ban. And so here's the thing. They think they can get away with magazine capacity ban because you're not banning guns. That's the trick. That's the whole scam of it all. You know, that is the whole scam of it all. So here's the thing. We've got to make as much noise about this high-capacity magazine ban as possible. We have to. So make noise on their Facebook pages. Let them know how you feel. It'll get around, you know. Make as many videos as you can regarding this. I mean, as many as you can. And literally scare the bejeebas out of the senators that aren't safe. See, here's the thing. You know, Senator Lautenberg's in New Jersey. All right. Let's be honest. Communist state. You know, left-wing liberal state. You know, your New Jerseys, your Massachusetts, your Maines, all those states, those left-wing East Coast communist states, are every bit as bad as the communist state of California. You know, I mean, it's just a fact, people. I'm not trying to piss. I know there are good people, gun-loving people who live in those states, but you're outnumbered. It's just, you're surrounded. You're at the little bighorn when it comes to gun rights, because ultimately your states are just far left-wing nuts. That's just the way it is. I feel bad for you. Keep up the good fight in your state, but you know I'm speaking the truth here. So Senator Lautenberg doesn't have anything to worry about in New Jersey. Okay, forget the fact, by the way, that New Jersey has really strict gun laws, but the place is a freaking war zone. You know, it's a freaking war zone. Same thing with Chicago, same thing with New York. I used to live in Chicago. You couldn't have an AK-47, or guess what? I had one under my bed the entire time I lived there. Okay? I mean, hey, I was a criminal. That's what I was. I was made to be a criminal by you know, me adhering to the Second Amendment, whatever. So Chicago's a war zone, strict gun laws. I don't have to go over this. You all know what I'm talking about. You know, so Lautenberg, though, he's safe. Feinstein is safe because, you know, like I said, California is a communist state. You've got Barbara Boxer, safe. Chuck Schumer, safe. These people don't have to worry about losing their jobs. But here's what we need to do. We need to make the other senators that maybe are not so safe scared to death. I'm talking scared to death to jump on their bandwagon. You know, they may be safe. But, you know, and it reminds me, by the way, you know, when the Republican Revolution happened, the Newt Gingrich Revolution, you know, a lot of the Democrats that lost their jobs, and there was a shit ton of them. I mean, crazy amount. All of them lost their jobs because they signed on to that whole assault weapons ban thing. That was the end of it for them. And there were a lot of them who cried and bitched and moaned, and I did not, but I was just voting my conscience and blah, blah, blah. Well, Bill Clinton all took them down the garden path. You know, when the smoke cleared, Bill Clinton was one of the few that was left standing, you know, and everybody else had lost their jobs. You know, so, I mean, yeah, that's why they don't have much stomach for it. And that's why Obama is, believe me, under any other time frame, well, even before that, a president like Obama, believe me when I tell you, he would have been a Democratic president would have been all over this gun ban thing. But now he stays as far away from it as possible. But, you know, that's the thing. We got to make it known to anybody that signs on to this. And, by the way, if they do manage to slide it in the back door, this treasonous little bit of legislation, we need to make sure that Obama understands that it will haunt him for the rest of his life. Now, granted, I think he realizes he's not going to win, so he may try to fall on the sword on this one. You know, who knows? You know, who knows? But anyway, Let me know what you guys think. Chime in. I did the homework for you. In the info section is everybody's link. Go there, raise a little cane. Don't use a whole lot of foul language. And tomorrow, get on the phones and start calling your senators. Don't listen to people who say it's not going to make a difference. Don't listen to them people. They're just, they're disillusioned. I get it. I understand it. But those of us who still have a little fight in our bellies, we need to take the fight to them. Anyway, see ya.